We going? All right, we are live now. I'm like, why aren't we going live? It's not going live.
You are live. There you
we
go.
Are live. Yes. Welcome back to Listen Up, Santa Paula.
Yes, another great week.
It has been a great week.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
Right. So here is the theme for today.
All right.
Okay, this is very important. Choose your own path, not the path that others have chosen for you.
Yep.
That's the theme for today.
Okay.
And I will explain more when we come back.
Rough Edge FM. Irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
There's so much going on in your community that even in this age of information, it's tough to keep up. This show will help. It's all about what's new, what's happening, and what's out there. So if you're ready, sit back and listen up, Santa Paula.
Explain whether you are a religious person or not. Pope Francis wrote this letter when he was in the hospital. And with everything with the bombing in Iran and and Israel and all of the riots going on
in the world right
I mean it's just so it's funny how things come your way when you're amongst turmoil. So the walls of a hospital have heard more honest prayers than churches. They have witnessed let me back that up. They have witnessed far more sincere kisses than those in airports. It is in hospitals that you see homophobes being saved by a gay doctor, a privileged doctor saving the life of a beggar. In intensive care, you see a Jew taking care of a racist, a police officer and a prisoner in the same room receiving the same care, a wealthy patient waiting for a liver transplant, ready to receive the organ from a poor donor. It is in these moments when the hospital touches the wounds of people that different worlds intersect according to a divine design. And in this communion of destinies, we realize that alone we are nothing. The absolute truth of people, most of the time, only reveals itself in moments of pain or in the real threat of irreversible loss. A hospital is a place where human beings remove their masks and show themselves that they truly are, in their purest essence. This life will pass quickly, so don't waste it fighting with people. Do not criticize your body too much. Do not complain excessively. Do not lose sleep over bills. Make sure to hug your loved ones. Do not worry too much about keeping the house spotless. I read that one twice to Julie. Material goods must be earned by each person. Do not dedicate yourself to accumulating inheritance. That's another good one.
Yeah.
You are waiting too much. Christmas, Friday, next year, when you have money, when love arrives, when everything is perfect. Listen, perfection does not exist. A human being cannot obtain it because we are simply not made to be fulfilled here. Here we are given an opportunity to learn. So make the most of this trial of life and do it now. Respect yourself, respect others, walk on your own path, and let go of the paths others have chosen for you. I like that one.
Yeah.
Respect. Do not comment. Do not judge. Do not interfere. Love more. Forgive more. Embrace more. Live more intensely. And leave the rest in the hands of the Creator. And that was Pope Francis.
So true today.
It is.
So true.
It totally is.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about, because Julie and I were talking this morning, and we were saying how there is no truth in news anymore.
No.
It's all personal perspectives.
Yep.
And, even back in our day when we used to watch the news, you'd watch it for 30 minutes. And, after dinner, you'd sit down, watch the evening news, get what you need, and you move on with your life.
Yeah. I used to do 6 o'clock, the local news, 6:30, the world news, and you're done.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
You have everything you need to know. And it was news.
Yeah. Newspaper you would get in the evening. You'd look at it. It just recapped everything that happened the day before in case you missed something.
Right.
Simple.
Yep.
Yeah.
And from from what you got for the information, and it was just all they were simply doing is reporting what happened.
Exactly.
They weren't adding their own commentary to it. They weren't putting their own perspective on it. They weren't spinning it in a particular way. It was just, hey, Trump sent bombs over to Iran to blow up the nuclear whatevers, and Israel and Iran are now in a ceasefire treaty or whatever, and it was done.
Don't pick it apart.
Yeah,
which is what many of them were doing, picking it apart.
Yeah, it is absolutely 100% everybody else's perspective.
Yeah,
and there's one reason, two reasons that I can think of that have caused our society to become what it is today, which is polarized, angry, and there's a third one, but whatever that is.
Yeah.
Social media, 24/7 news.
Yep. You can't get away from it.
No. And it's all social media, 100%
on your phone.
Yes.
You have access.
And it's 100% somebody's opinion.
Yeah.
And it's not even that. It's somebody takes a picture of somebody, throws up a caption, and it becomes the truth.
Yeah. And that's frustrating that people react without knowing the truth.
Dr. Pepper, 26 flavors. Get yours today.
Is that true?
Yes, it is.
There you go. So we got one truth today. But it is frustrating, even on my end, when I see people, family, friends, whatever, how they just are very reactive without knowing the background of everything.
Right.
And that's how people react nowadays. If they would actually learn what's happening first, I know you get some comments.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just, I gotta. So Tim is going, what the hell? I've been polite lately, and everyone else has seemed to have lost it.
Well, see,
it's a paradox.
Tim is the normal one right now. He's keeping the peace for everybody right now. So appreciate that, But no, it's just frustrating on my end. I see that I get family all the time they'll call me based on my role. Hey, what's going on here? And I'm like, and then they start spewing off a bunch. Like, you don't even know half of what's going on. One, I can't tell them what's happening, but two, it's because they saw it on social media.
Right.
And I'm like, really? Just because somebody posted their opinion doesn't mean it's true.
Right.
And that happens everything in every world, our businesses, our, government, our friends, family, they all, everybody's so reactive to everything without knowing the true facts of everything.
Right.
And I do it myself too. I'll see something but then I have to think about taking a step back and learning about it first.
Well, and it used to be that you saw a video and you could go, okay, I saw it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
Now you can't even do that.
No.
Because videos can be altered and voices can be added.
AI is
and lips
crazy.
can be Oh
yeah. Some of those comments you've seen lately about what's going on in the world, you don't even know if this is true what they're saying.
Right.
And you're hoping that the credible news sources are doing it right, but you don't even know about that either. The way things are.
Yeah, and so it's like you get to a point where you're going, okay, who can I turn to? What news source, whatever, because everybody's got a slant. CNN's got a slant, Fox has got a slant, MSNBC has a slant, everybody has a slant.
Even locally, you see that too.
Yeah. So who or where can you go where there is absolutely zero slant and there's absolutely no doctoring of the evidence and there's absolutely 100% this is the news without any bias?
This show. No, I don't know if there's any.
Are we gonna have to go?
Exactly. We'll do
breaking news, ladies and gentlemen.
A news segment there.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, is there a place now?
Right.
You don't know. The papers, like you said, they're one way or the other. The news sources are one way or the other. Social media, but depending on what platform you're in, same thing too. I think people just need to just shut everything off and just. Except for listening to the show here.
Oh yeah,
but I mean, you can't base your opinions a lot on some of the stuff that's being spewed out there. Verify before you do something, before you say something. Everybody's got to be a little bit smarter before they react.
Could you imagine if we had a global event and it like fried every satellite that was up in space, and all of a sudden it's like there is absolutely no internet, no social media, none of that stuff?
What happens when just the cable goes out? People freak out. Power goes out. People freak out.
Yeah.
The ATMs aren't working. They freak out. It's like, and we're one of the last generations that knows that. I think maybe our kids know that, but beyond that, it's all digital for them. They don't know. So something to say about putting money in your mattress. Back in the day, they used to do that in case there was a disaster. And I don't know if anybody even carries cash anymore, because if something happens, or if I've seen at restaurants where your fast food place where you give them money and they don't know how to give you the change because the generation just doesn't know,
Right.
Unless it tells you right there, but so there's, it's just, everything's so fast paced right now. It's scary now to see what's going on in our world and the reaction of everybody. I mean, even our grandkids now are being affected by it, even at their age right now.
Right.
And what's their world going to be like when they get to our age?
So don't know how true this is, because again, it's hard to verify.
Okay.
But there was a study done with college students it was a small study, but college students who used AI for everything versus college students who did the work on their own. And so what they were studying was the brain's activity and capacity. And so essentially what it was is people who use AI to just put in a few bullet points and let it write it, versus those who actually take the time to write it. Now, I use AI, but I write everything that I want. If I'm going to send an email, if I'm going to write a letter, I write it.
Yeah.
And then I give it to AI and I say, polish it up.
Yeah.
But then I reread it to see what it modified, so I can learn by it. So these are people who just simply type in a few words into AI and say generate. There's a part of the brain that actually shrinks and loses capacity on those that have used AI versus those who have written it, and you can't get it back. And so and again, it was a brief study, but what they were essentially saying is that AI is going to dummy down America.
Oh, yeah.
And the rest of the world.
Well, look at the technology as it's progressed.
Yeah.
We're losing a little bit each time, and that AI is going to be could be the ultimate detriment of our society.
Yeah. Because we can't think on our own anymore.
No.
We can't write. We can't, dictate. We can't do anything other than to give it to AI and say, do this for me.
Yeah.
And that's can be a scary place to be.
Yeah. There's still
I keep saying Terminator.
I know. Arnold's going to walk in the door pretty quick here.
Yeah.
Take us all out, know? But, I mean, even like I use AI a lot for the organization and stuff. But what I do is I write something out, like you said.
Yeah.
And then I'll feed it to it. It'll do it. I'll go back and I'll change things, modify things, and have reformat it to, some kind of either a formal letter or whatever, or like for our announcements of events, I type in all the information, tell it what I want to say, and then it spits it out and formats it correctly.
Right.
A lot of our posts are very similar because we use the same format for it. So, what's he saying now?
He said, to be fair, a lot of people stopped thinking years ago.
True. Once your smartphone came out, what happened? So it's been a while, but
that's true.
But yeah, it's just it's a crazy society we live in, and just it's like I said on my end, it's a little frustrating to see that where we're going, and how do you control it?
Yeah, you don't have to know basic math anymore.
No,
because everything is done for you. You don't have to know basic writing skills because it can be done for you. There's so much that you don't have to do anymore. It's like people, nobody knows how to really type anymore. It's what, thumbs and whatever. So it's just there's a lot of, it's almost like in magic. There is sleight of hand, and then there is a gimmick. And if you rely so heavily, a lot of these gimmicked effects, they're good. I use them.
Yeah.
But there's a certain thing about keeping the sleight of hand in practice. You might not use it, but just keep the practice and learn the dexterity and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So I don't know.
What happened in the old days when if you had an issue or something, you'd just go visit the person or call them and talk with them instead of just assumptions and texting and what, because you can get really brave on text and email, but when it comes to in person, what happens?
Right.
And that's where you can see the emotions. You can talk about it. You can come up with some solutions, but it just frustrates me when people go off on text and emails and stuff without really having that conversation.
Yeah, because they don't have to look at you in the face.
Exactly. So learn about something. And I've always said, if anybody's got a question or something, they can always call me if they have a question. I mean, I know all the answers, but at least I'm more than happy to have conversations with people. Yeah,
because back in the day, you could have a conversation with somebody, and if they didn't like it, they could punch you in the face.
Exactly. And then you're settled and it's all done.
Yeah.
Guys, one a little quick,
and then you thought twice about it because you didn't want to get punched in the face anymore.
And then you go have a drink.
Yeah.
A little bit of cold drink, and your buddies again, That's how guys do it, So, but it's and it's refreshing and it's nice when you actually go and you visit somebody, you have a conversation with somebody in person. I mean, it's kind of a lost art form.
Yeah.
I mean, when you sit there at night and you talk with Julie or something, or in the morning, like same thing with my wife too, is like, we'll talk for a little bit, at the end of the night, what's going on or whatever. And that's kind of a lost art form because during the day we're sometimes texting each other just because she's at work, I'm at work, we're the only way we can communicate. But we got to make some time to have actual in-person conversations with each other. Everybody should try that. I mean, you even see the dating now. The dating, people date through text, and stuff, and it's like,
and they go months on. We're going out, really. So you guys are dating now? Yeah. Oh, when did you meet? Oh, we haven't yet. We just decided to start dating.
Mind-boggling. So, I wish people would just take a step back and then just really, don't, learn about everything. Take a look at everything. Verify that it's the truth. Verify there's certain things going on before you actually say something. It's like, I mean, we're all guilty of it. All of us are guilty of it at some point. So some more than others. But anyway.
Well, unfortunately and sadly, this is where society has brought us. And
doesn't mean it's the end though.
No.
We can get it back.
No, and the pendulum, I think it does swing.
Yes, it does.
And so right now we're I don't know, we're like on that part of the swing where you're almost about to fall off backwards, but then the swing comes back down.
When it goes back and that, you're on that ship and you're going back and forth at the carnival, and we're almost there, but it's going to take some. Usually, it always ends where something, unfortunately, maybe bad or something happens before it changes the swing.
Like I said, a catastrophic event that takes out all the satellites, and then we have no longer any internet or anything like that, and I mean, people are going to be walking outside looking like, staring at the sun going, what happened?
Hey, there's
what do we do?
Plenty of places around the world where they're not so dependent on any of that stuff.
Yeah.
They don't even have some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And they still survive.
And they don't even know about it.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I wouldn't want to live there, but
no, but I mean, it's still, you can survive. It just, you got to be prepared, And so, I mean, something was to happen. I'm good. I know I can survive, and I take care of my family. And so I'm sure you can too.
Yeah. You go out in your trailer and go camping somewhere and just hang out and enjoy the wilderness.
Even that, I got a tent. I'll pitch a tent too. So it's not a big deal. I could cook by fire, whatever, but can't go hunt though. That's not my strong point. But,
so mine neither.
Canned stuff is perfect.
Dr. Pepper and Doritos. That's all I need to live on.
I can grill beans pretty good, if I had to, so, but yeah, it's just, it's a crazy world we're living in right now. But yet again, we can only control what we can control, right? We can't control all the madness that's going on out there. We can control what we can control in our own communities and in our own lives.
So I have been hired to build a timeline website of somebody who was committed of a crime back in 2007. His name is Chris Wright.
Okay.
And it's actually a very fascinating story. Oh gosh, Dateline did a story on him back in 2012. They're looking at doing a 2-part series now with an update. But essentially, this guy was committed of murdering somebody. But all of the DNA evidence excludes him from being the person who was in the vehicle. There's no fingerprints that put him there. But yet the evidence was all twisted and turned and made it to look like he was there. So I am going to be building a website that gives a timeline of all the things that have taken place between the trial and the evidence and the new stuff that has come out and whatnot. And what's interesting is, you talk about how the truth can be spun. You never really know what the truth is because it's all a perspective. This whole case is about that, this whole thing. And you listen to the evidence that they have and you go, why are you still in jail? It's been 15 years.
Yeah.
Or 13 years, whatever it is. Or wait. See, I can't do basic math.
What year was it?
2007.
2007. So you're looking at 21 years.
Thank you. 20. Yeah.
So you still got.
Wow.
Still up there.
Wow.
It's fading, but it's still.
I know. So if you're interested, check it out. It's Chris Wright. The website is called The Wrong Right. But we're going to be remodifying that to put the information in a better format and an order and everything like that. But it's kind of cool that I got this phone call.
Nice.
And all of a sudden I got a phone call from the state prison and I'm like, who do I know that's in jail? but so that's my new and latest project.
Good.
Is to help somebody get out of jail.
Okay.
Based on the facts.
Okay.
And not the perceived facts.
You're just presenting what you're given, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. 100%. Here's what it is. This. You make your own decision.
There you go.
So
well, that's good. That's an interesting project.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it should be fun. So what do we have going on?
Big 4th of July.
Oh my gosh.
Coming up.
Yeah.
It's, on Friday, a week from Friday, over at the new sports park. I guess it's going from 4 to 9 before the fireworks. Fireworks will start about 9. From what I understand, it's probably about a 20 to 30-minute show. I'm not sure exactly, but it'll be at least 20-minute show. Fireworks, not drones.
Right.
They're going to have food trucks. They're going to have other vendors there. New venue, because it used to be at Harding Park with the Little League Park. And so now it should be a lot more space, a lot more room to move around, enjoy the new sports park. So should be a good time.
This is going to be a great venue for that.
Yeah. Well,
I'm really excited about it.
A lot of events that can happen there because it's such a big play. I mean, we just had the concerts in the park last Friday there.
How did that go?
That was great. They had about 400 and some people there, which was great.
Wow.
People. So it was a great time, and a couple food trucks there, like 3 food trucks, but the band, One of Friends was outstanding. So it was a good first kickoff.
That's awesome.
Parks and Rec department did a really good job getting that up and running.
And 400 people. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So the fireworks start at 4 p.m. or not the fireworks, but the actual event itself.
It starts about
4 p.m.
You go out there, hang out there.
And so I assume people can go because Tim wants to set up a lounge chair at like 8 a.m. in order to be able to get the best seat in the house.
Do it, because I don't know, there might not be enough room in that park, so.
Where are they going to launch the actual fireworks?
That I don't know. Somewhere, I would assume maybe probably in the center somewhere or somewhere. They've got to have I don't know what spot they're going to do.
Yeah.
But
maybe in the undeveloped. He's going to go there tomorrow and set up his lounge chair.
He can maybe put an X where he wants to sit, or a little box where he's going to sit and put his name in there.
Put a cone, a yellow cone.
There
right
you go. But no, it should be a good time. I mean, that's a great venue. We've done the grand opening there. We did now the concerts in the park. They're they've had they're hoping to bring in some other events there too. So Should be good.
How is the parking?
Parking, there seems to be a lot of parking, a lot of street parking.
There's a lot of street parking.
Yeah. So the parking lot, I don't know how many cars it holds, but it's a big parking lot. But then there's also plenty of street parking. So
Okay.
it shouldn't be a problem for what they used to get at Harding Park. I don't think it'd be a problem there at that park.
Yeah, because Harding, they used to park all over the place and walk.
They used to park on the side of the freeway, during the show too.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will be walking from the Harvest, so which is good. And once they open up the bridge, I mean, people from the other side of the bridge will come over. They can walk over, but I mean, you can see the fireworks show probably from most of the community anyway.
Yeah,
the way it's set up. So, no, it'll be good. It's a good kickoff event for the summer, and yeah, it's always good.
I can't wait to see you there. Oh wait, you're
It's
not gonna be
been
there.
Probably 6 or 7 years since I've been to the fireworks show. We do this annual camping trip.
I know you do.
Yeah, you've been there.
Yep.
Yeah, and so we'll be watching the other fireworks show that's nearby. So
Well, we will probably come visit you,
Okay.
But not on the 4th,
yeah,
because we're gonna hopefully have a booth out there as well.
Good.
Which I need to get in touch with the Parks and Rec about that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a booth. They just don't know we're gonna have a booth.
Good. So yeah, that'll be good. Hopefully, a lot of other local businesses get engaged too. So
Yeah.
that's
And they're gonna have soft serve ice cream there. So
that's a plus for you.
Oh
right
my
there.
gosh.
Oh my god. Maybe you'll put your booth right next to the soft serve.
that would be awesome.
Do some card tricks, and they'll give you a cone.
Yeah.
So
Give me a soft serve chocolate cone and I'll teach you a card trick.
you're all good right there. Yeah, that'll make your day. So, but that's good. But yeah, we have that on July 10th.
There will be no
no
cruise night.
no cruise night because of the 4th of July. Thank
Right.
you for reminding me. And we just the city just posted something for us to state that. It just didn't make sense for us to have it on that same
Right.
Friday that the 4th of July fireworks are on. And there's a car show in Fillmore, so we don't want to take away from
Yeah.
them.
So if you wanna see a good car show, you go to the Fillmore one.
Exactly. We support them too. So downtown Fillmore during the day, they have a great car show. It's Sespe Creek organization. They put it on. So it's always a fantastic event. So
Do they do a fireworks show?
I think they do it on the 3rd.
On the 3rd. Okay.
They do it the day before at the high school.
Okay.
Because I mean, there's an entire fireworks show in the community on the 4th.
Yeah.
You know, because they allow fireworks there. They'll
Right.
stay the same
Everybody else does their own.
Exactly. So that's going on as well. I know on July 10th, we have a mixer at Park 1055. It's Thursday the 10th, 5:37. It's actually a partnership with us in the Ventura Chamber. We've done a few events together. Last year we did a mixer together. We're doing another one this year. So come on out for that. It's free to get in. And we just ask that you purchase some appetizers, some drinks. They'll have specials there as well. But it helps support Park 1055 too. He's been a huge community supporter.
I do have a not a customer service announcement. What would you call it?
Mhm.
A public service announcement.
Mhm.
Thank you. Fireworks in Santa Paula. The police are hoping to be able to have drones.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll have them in time or not, but they are hoping to have drones. It will be a $1,000 citation for lighting safe and sane fireworks. So the fireworks that you go over and buy it in Fillmore, if you launch them up in Santa Paula, it is a $1,000 fine.
Subject to that.
Yes. And if you launch the dangerous ones, it can be a much higher fine as well as jail time.
Yeah, and that's just starting. It
Yes.
could be higher, the fine.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, it's always crazy. And
First citation is 1,000. Second one is 2.
but you find this in every community.
Yep.
And it seems to get crazier every year. So, I mean, just
Well, I know that the Santa Paula police are really looking to crack down this year.
and it affects animals, dogs especially. When we lost our dog during the 4th of July several years ago because he flipped out with the fireworks. And
Your dog died on the 4th of July?
He the very next morning he died because he ended up he was blind, and what happened was the fireworks scared him and he started running around and whacked his head, knocked him. He was already in bad health, but he could not sit still every time the fireworks kept going off.
Right.
And he just did some damage to himself because he was literally running into the walls at full speed,
right?
Because he didn't know where to go.
He wanted to get out.
Exactly, and then he died that next morning.
Wow.
So the fireworks got him. It was.
That's a really sad story to end the show on, John.
No, we're not going to end that. I mean, he was a great dog, my buddy, and everything. But he was older. But but that affects the dogs. And that just so people got to be a little smarter about that. And I mean, they're shooting fireworks off right now anyway. So you're hearing that, not that bad, but think about it, scares kids. It scares, even our seniors, you never know what's going to happen. The way everything is in our world right now, you hear something loud pop, you don't know what's going on.
Right.
So just be smart. I mean, minimize it, just go to the fireworks shows, go to the fireworks show, go to Fillmore if you want to light something up. There's plenty of family out there.
So it sounds like the officers have to go through extensive training on the drones.
Yeah.
So it probably will not be this year.
Yeah, but at least
I'll bring mine out.
There you go. You can go and maybe they can deputize you.
I'm a licensed pilot.
Maybe they can hire you for the day as a police officer.
Yeah.
Give you one of those stick-on badges. There you go.
So, did I get a gun?
Well, yeah, no.
Okay.
But yeah. So anyway, there's actually with the 4th of July, there's on the 6th, on Sunday the 6th, there's an event in downtown. Tacos El Terrazo, one of our new members, they're going to do what's called a Taquero Mucho Festival, and they're going to do like a taco eating contest in the parking lot behind their restaurant. They're going to be providing all the food for everybody, a small event, but they're just going to bring some more awareness to the downtown district, and it helps to support them because they're kind of hidden in that corner right there.
Right.
So they're trying to bring in some other business, and they're partnering with several other local businesses to help put it together. So we're really, excited to see what kind of event that turns into. I mean, it's a first-year event. So you never know with an event what happens, a new event, and it's a Sunday afternoon after the holiday, so we'll see. You know? So I said that. Then we have our mixer on the 10th. Then on the 12th we have grand opening, Planet Fitness. We're going to do grand opening on Saturday the 12th.
Some controversy there.
Yes, because we do have they're a chamber member, and we have a lot of our other gyms that are chamber members as well. So don't know how that's going to affect the community. I mean, it's a plus bringing in another new business,
right?
And hopefully their clientele is people that are going to their facilities outside too.
We're running out of time, but I have a 30-second thing on that. The gyms that we have in Santa Paula, one, there is a bunch of loyalty with the people that are going there. Two, it's a little bit more extensive training and personalization and all that kind of stuff that Planet Fitness does not offer at all.
No.
So Planet Fitness is going to be those New Year resolution people.
The other people,
and
usually those people that are part of that gym, they go to gyms all over when they travel or do whatever. So that's their kind of membership thing that they do. But yeah, right. Loyal gyms here we have in town, people that have been going there for years, and the specialized training. And I know a lot of people that go to these gyms, and they're not going to leave.
No.
And the prices, yes, it's great introductory price, but when in the long run, the service you get, it's like when you go to any of our local business, you come here, you get that personalized service.
Right.
So not to say that they're not going to do that, but it's different.
No, it's just, it's a different kind of makeup. It's more for the person who just wants to go in and, walk the treadmill, do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that. They're not really too much serious about their fitness or whatever. And
they'll leave.
And I mean, I know a lot of these businesses, these membership-based businesses, there's so many people who sign up for these things and then they forget about it. And they're still paying membership,
Yeah, exactly. And, but if you're going to sign up for that, get engaged.
Yeah.
Because that way you're aware of what's going on around you, So like a lot of these small gyms, I mean, they've had loyal people that have been there for years.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere.
No, that's not going to change
friends.
at all.
They're all friends, So why would you do that?
Right.
There'll be a little bit of loss, I'm sure, but due to whatever their reasons are. But for the most part, no, they'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. That's it.
I think that's good right now.
We're done.
I'll talk about another new grand opening later in the month. So we'll talk about that.
So we have another one coming up.
Yeah. That's Sister's Asian Eatery on July 24th.
All right. So in closing, I want to reiterate two things.
Okay.
Let's see. One, dang it. Do not dedicate yourself to accumulate. Okay. So material goods must be earned by each person. Do not dedicate yourself to accumulating an inheritance, meaning work, for your wealth. And basically, I'll summarize this one because I can't find it. Choose your own path, not the path that others have chosen for you.
Exactly.
And with that, we will end another episode of I'm stalling. Listen up, Santa Paula, because I got to get to the closing.
Okay.
This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.